Hello. Today we're going to do an overnight Detroit style pizza dough out of sourdough. So we're going to start with, this is for the smaller of the Lloyd pans for Detroit style pizza. So we're going to start with 190 grams of warm water. All right, I'm going to put some honey in this one. I'm going to put 5 grams of honey. Helps, especially since this is overnight rice. We're going to add some honey, add some sugar to feed it. Give it a little food. Oops, drippy. Good. All right. And we're going to add the sourdough starter. I fed this sourdough starter this morning, so it's nice and bubbly. And I'm going to add 50 grams of starter. Let's tear this out so I don't do any math. There we go. Alrighty. And there you go. Boink. 50. All right, good. Give us a quick little stir. All right. And then we're going to add flour. We got 250 grams of flour for this one. And we have some salt. 5 grams of salt. A little bit. All right. I'm going to mix this up with a fork till it's real, till it's incorporated. So it looks like a sort of kind of dough. And then we're going to let it sit for a half hour. And then we're going to roll it into a ball. And let it sit overnight. We're going to oil the pan. And we're going to roll it into a ball and put it in the pan and let it sit overnight. So see you in the morning.
Good morning. We're back. The Detroit style pizza on a 9-hour overnight rise looks beautiful. Came up a little over half in the pan. I just put some oil on top of it. Before par baking, I like to oil it up a little bit. And then I like to add a little bit of a sauce wash, I would say. It's just a little bit of tomato sauce and some water so we don't get as much browning. And I like to just add it to the top. I don't know, to me it creates, doesn't allow it to burn as much, and then it actually just creates a little bit of tomato flavor on there. And just try and get it all over the exposed top. And then I put it in the oven. 425, like I said, 12 to 15 minutes. Par bake is complete. You can see how it's pulled away from the pan. I want to let this cool now for about, 10 to 15 minutes. And then at that point, I can wrap it, let it sit for, a while until we're ready to use it. Or we can go ahead and top it and cook it and bake it. Pan is nice and cooled off. You can see how it pulled away from the sides nicely. I just run this plastic so I don't scratch my pan around the outside there. Make sure nothing sticks. And oh, look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's put that. Look at that. Nice. So we're going to let this cool off, and then we can wrap it up and use it later. Okay. So now that we're ready for this Detroit style pizza, we par baked it. We made it overnight rise. We par baked it, and now we're ready to make it. So if you par bake it, you can par bake it in the morning and then wrap it in plastic wrap or whatever, and unwrap it when you're ready to use it that night. So that's an easy way to make pizza dinner fun. So with this one, I put it back in the pan. I re-oiled the pan. I put it back in the pan. I put some cupping pepperoni. So on this one is a 4-slice pan. So I did put 4, 4, and 4. Oh, there was one. I must have lost one. Must have ate it. That's funny. So I did do 3 slices with pepperoni, 1 slice without. So I put the pepperoni down first. This is a cupping pepperoni. Then I'm going to do my cheese blend, which is a mixture. There's some white cheddar in here with some mozzarella. All right. Try not to make as much of a mess as I did, and try and nicely. It's generous. Be pretty generous with this, and make sure you get it all to the edge, and that creates the unique caramelization on the edge. Burnt cheese, I should say, you know, it's Pequod's in Chicago, if you know what I mean. All right, that's it. Look at that. Now it's ready to go back in the oven. And this one, we don't put a sauce on yet. We put the sauce on at the end when it comes out of the oven. We use a marinara, and then not this is traditional pizza sauce usually. So it's got a little more flavor. It's a little deeper red color because it's usually a cooked sauce. Anyway, we're gonna put this back in the oven. We're gonna cook this at, 425, 450 till it melts up. Talk to you soon. There she is, fresh out of the oven. You can see the caramelization on the edges, burning the edges. So for this one though, I'm gonna let this cool down a little bit because I'm actually gonna put this in a box. So I'm gonna let it cool down. Let's put some sauce on. I have my sauce on the stove. Okay, this little marinara. This one has a little bit of tomatoes. You see some whole tomatoes. I did whole crushed tomatoes. I have whole peeled tomatoes and I put them in the immersion blender. There's still some chunks. There's some fresh basil, salt, pepper, a little garlic, and then we're going to top it with some pecorino romano in a second. So what we're going to do is, because I'm going to cut this in fours, I'm going to put some of those little boxes here for some friends. So I'm going to put some on each slice. Usually they stripe it, right? But the way I'm going to cut it, I'm just going to put some on each slice so I don't make a mess. When I cut it, I'm going to cut this in fours. Make sure you get some nice good basil pieces on there. There she is. Oops, I forgot the pecorino, right? So what I'm going to do, for me, I love pecorino romano. So this is freshly ground pecorino romano. Top it. Now we're done. This is what it looks like outside of the pan. Let's take a look. Look at this nice little caramelization on the edge. Right? Put it out on a cooling tray. Look at that. Nice and brown on the bottom. Perfect. OMG. Outside of the pan on a cooling rack so it doesn't get all steamy on the bottom and get soft, because I'm going to put these in a box. All right, so let's cut it and let's take a look. All right, we got a little crunch going on there. I felt it. All right, let's do this one. Hear that? Get through. All right. Now, Judgment Day. This hasn't been done, right? So this is it. First, take a look at it. Let's take a look. All right. You gotta be kidding me. Look at that. Beautiful. Steaming hot. Look at that. Oh, doesn't get any better than that, guys. Now, I said it before, but I'll say it again. From my kitchen to yours. Ciao.